Dear students, today in our microprocessor assembly language program, the lecture number 9. Up till now, in previous total lectures, we discussed about the microprocessors evolutions, microprocessors progress, microprocessors generations, and the different types of microprocessor and its history. Then after we discuss about also the different types of buses, bus structures, and how it communicate with the input and output peripherals. So these are our agenda up till now we have to discuss. In previous lecture we also discussed about the pin diagrams of 8085 in a signal description group. So here we discuss about the detailed pin diagrams 8085 part 2. Because 8085 pin diagram always asks in GTU pattern questions, and more mark available for perform to draw the pin diagrams and explain each and every pin number with in a short description. So every students must know about the each and every pin. Here is a 40 pin. So here we discuss about the 8085 features. So 8085 is an 8-bit microprocessor and is capable of addressing 64 kilobyte of memory, and it requires 5 volt of power supply. 8085 operation on 3 megahertz clock. It's the speed of 3 megahertz clock, and it's 16 address bus or address lines, out of which 8 is address lines are multiplexed with the data line. Okay, so here we are discuss about each pin one by one. Here is the pin diagram, layout of pin diagram. In last session we are discuss about this all 6 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and all some detail there will be given is called as a signal description group wise. Here we are study about the one by one all the our pin numbers. Okay. So here is the pin diagram, and next slide I show that here is the 2 pin available, pin 1 and pin 2. It's called X1 and X2. So these are also called as a crystal input pins. So 8085 can generate clock signal internally. So this clock signal is generated by using these crystal input pins. To generate clock signal internally, 8085 requires external input from X1 and X2. This crystal have a property to produce a electricity or the electrical power to be performed internally. Okay. Now our second is pin number 36 as a reset input, and pin number, here is a pin number 36 is a reset in, and pin number 3 is a reset out. So it is used to reset the microprocessor. It is active low signal. Reset the microprocessor, it means what? Whenever we are forcefully shut down the computer, or before the forcefully shut down the computer, we will reset all the operations and try once again if they are performed okay or not. So these functions of reset in will be performed by here the pin number 36, and when the signal on this pin is low, here signal is low, then at least 3 clocking cycle is force the microprocessor to reset himself. Okay, and the next one is the SID and SOD. Here SID is called the serial input data. Serial input and output data, this will be available in 4 and pin number 5. So it takes 1 bit input from serial port of 8085 and store the bit at 8th position, most significant bits of the accumulator. We will discuss accumulator in architecture, but you have to remember it takes the bit from the serial port of 8085. Okay, and in SOD it takes 1 bit from accumulator to serial port of 8085. So there will be taken accumulator to serial port, and SID is from serial port to accumulator. It takes bit from 8th position MSB same way. So this is a RIM and SIM. Here SIM is the set interrupt mask. Instruction is used to transfer the bit. So this is minimum requirement to know about the SOD. Now next is our pin number 6. It's called is a trap. What is the meaning of trap? It is a non-maskable interrupt. So this will be also discussed later on about the maskable and non-maskable type of interrupts. Total interrupts and its type will be discussed later on. It has the highest priority. It cannot be disabled. It is both edge and level trigger. It means trace signal must go from low to high and must remain high for a certain period of time. So trap is usually used for power failure and emergency shut-off. So whenever the power failure or emergency shut-off, this pin will be always must go from low to high. Okay. The next is the reset input. Here is the 7 numbers, 8 numbers and 9 numbers. 3 are the reset input. Here is level is 7.5. It is a maskable interrupt and it has a second highest priority type of input pin number 7. It is positive edge trigger only and internal flip-flop is triggered by the rising edge. So this flip-flop also we discuss in later on in next semester, and the flip-flop remain high until it is clear by the reset in. So this is the reset. RST is 7.5. Then after reset 6.5, it's called RST pin number 8. 6.5 is the maskable, same way is the third highest priority and level trigger, and this pin has to be held high for a specific period of time and can be enabled by EI instructions, and it can be disabled by the DI instructions. Now next is the reset 5.5 is the pin number 9. It's also the maskable interrupt and is the fourth highest priority. It also level trigger and is held high for the specific time of period. Interrupt is very similar to 6.5. Okay. Then next is the interrupt. Interrupt pin is a maskable interrupt and is as a lower priority. It is also level trigger. It is a general purpose interrupt. So here is the interrupt pin number is 10. Then interrupt acknowledgement is INTA bar. It stands for the interrupt acknowledge. It means it's notified that the interrupt is there and that's given acknowledge to the system programmers. It is an outgoing signals and it is an active low signals. Low output in this pin indicate that microprocessor has acknowledged the interrupt request. So here is the low output. It means they are acknowledged the interrupt request. Then we have discussed this already in a previous video, that 802 AD7. It's a bidirectional pin diagram between pin A19 to pin 19 to pin 12. 12 to 19 it will be available for the AD04, AD7. These pins are several the dual purpose of transmitting lower order address and data type. Address and data type by multiplex here, and during the first clock this pin acts as a lower half of address. Lower half of address will be available for the during the first clock cycle. It remain clock cycles, this pin act as a data bus, then after data bus. And the separation of lower order address and data is done by the address light. So these are the bidirectional AD0 to AD7. Then same way here is the A8 to A15 is a pin number 21 to pin number 28 is a unidirectional type of line, and this pins carries the higher order of the address bus. In previously see that this is a lower order, here is a higher order of address bus, and address is sent from microprocessor to memory. So here to memory, and these 8 pins are switched to high impedance state during hold and reset mode. And the pin number 30 is a ALE. So here is the address latch pin is enable. Is used to enable to address latch, and it indicates whether bus functions as address bus or data bus. If ALE is 1, then bus instruction as address bus. And if it is 0, 30 number pin, this the bus at function is as data bus. So this pin can decide the label is 1, then it perform as address bus, and label is 0, it perform as a data bus. Okay, so this pin is important. About the multiplexings of address and data bus will be bifurcated. Then after our pin number 29 and 33, when 29 is S0 and 33 is the S1. So S0 and S1 is the output pin. It's called status pin. They tell the current operations which is in progress in 8085. Whatever the operation is presently operated in 8085, this will be here. Is a combination will give the result. Suppose S0 and S1 is 0, 0. So this pin 0 and this pin 0. It means this operation is called halt. If this one is 0 and this one is 1, it means write operation is going on, and this one is 1 and this one is 0. It means it's a read operation is going on, and both is 1. It means the fetch the opcode data. Okay, so these are the operations of progress which done in 8085 will be status. So this is called as the status pins. Then after it's the IO/M bar. IO means input output, and M means the memory. Bar is a pin number 34. So this pin tells whether the input and output or memory operation is being performed. Suppose this pin is a output is or available is a 1. Then input output operation is being performed, memory operation not performed here. If this pin having a 0, then memory operation is being performed. So this way we can decide there are operation is the input output or memory. The next pin is the RD bar. RD bar, it means pin number here is a 32. RD stands for the read. So it is active low signal. So it is the control signal used to read operation either from memory or from input device. A low signal indicates that data on the data bus must be placed either from selected memory location or from input device. Then same way, next is our WR bar. It means it indicates stands for write. Pin number is a 31. It is also actively low signal. It is control signal used for write operation either into memory or into output devices. A low signal indicates that data on the data bus must be written into selected memory locations or into output devices. Then it will be ready. So ready is a pin number 35 as an input pin, and this pin is used to synchronize slower peripheral devices with fast microprocessor. A low value causes the microprocessor to enter into wait state. It's the halt or wait state. The microprocessor remains in wait state until the input as this pin goes high. Here you saw the direction is inside. So this is called as the input pin. Out means output pin. So this will be each and every pin direction. It will be must be analyzed here to which type of operations from chip to memory or input output or output memory to chip. Okay. Then after is the 38 numbers pin is a hold. HOLD is the input pin, and this pin is used to request the microprocessor for direct memory access transfer. So a high signal on this pin is a request to microprocessor to relinquishes the hold on buses, and this request is sent by direct memory access controller. So Intel 8257 and Intel 8237 are the two controllers. Okay. Then HLDA 39, pin number 39 here. So it is called the hold acknowledge. So here HLDA stands for the hold acknowledge, and this microprocessor uses this pin to acknowledge the receipt of hold signal. When hold acknowledge signal goes high, address bus, data bus, read, write, input, output, memory pins are tri-state, and this means they are cut off from external environment. And the last one is the VSS and VCC pin number 20 and pin number 40. So here is the input both pin. So here 5 volt supply is connected to VCC and ground signal is connected to VSS. Okay. So this total 40 pin description I will be discuss here. One questions I already ask whenever I teach this all the pin description. Students must be identify that I already discuss or already suggest here 40 pin. I just left the one pin that I will be not discuss in this session. You just find which pin that I have not discussed amongst the 40 and answer me in our WhatsApp group. I want to show who can find this one pin that I have not discussed in this session. So dear students, this is your assignment today. You just find out the which pin that I have not discussed amongst these 40 and detailing us in a WhatsApp group as an answer. Okay. So thank you very much. In the next session we will start with our most IMP topic is the architectures. Okay. Thank you very much.